Going to give some simple demo how to do database testing in .NET Core using SQLite. If you need some more information about SQLite and their advantages and disadvantages, please go through this website. This is Microsoft Docs website and it will give some in detail information. This demo I will directly go and show live example how to do database testing using SQLite. So I'm not going in memory provider, so I will show how to develop in memory also in this example, but I'm not going to show you run and show you that in memory provider. So this is my application. So since it's a time constraints, so I already implemented the example, but I will show you line by line. First of all, this is my repository, employee DB access, and in employee DB access, so I am what exactly I am doing is I am updating employee as well as adding employee and deleting employee. So this is my data employee DB access class, and these are my operations I am doing. But when we come to real time, so this is my program, C# program. So here I am just creating, so I will show my block DB context also. This is my DB context, and this is there's no anything special here. These are all normal. So I have two tables, employee table, it has the ID, name and age, and department. In my department I have department ID, title and description. So and I so department is referring to employee, so that's where I have created one foreign key, that is ID, and it is the referencing employee. So I have created date column, and since I am referring, I also add employee table here. So this is my table structure, this is my DB context. So these are all very pretty common, so I am not explaining in detail here. And my program.cs, so since here I am using SQL Server, and so to get these options, we have to use means you have to reference three classes. One is SQL Server Entity Framework Core SQL Server. Since I am using a 2017, so it's 2. It's not latest version, so I downloaded the related .NET Core versions. So I downloaded SQL Server 2.2.0 and SQLite 2. Same version. In memory also same, and .NET Core also same. So I referenced these 4 DLLs. These are the must. So before starting, wanted to develop SQ and SQLite, so you have to use you have to add reference these libraries in your project using NuGet. So I hope you know how to get these DLLs from NuGet. So you have to go for manage NuGet, and under the manage NuGet you have to search related DLL names here. So like I'm using entity framework core. If you search here, so all the reference will come show here. From here you can select related versions in this window. So you will get this list, and if I see that my updated one, these are the DLLs I have added with these versions. .NET Core, these are all mandatory. Before start developing, you have to add these reference to your project, and SQLite, SQL Server, and in memory. These 4 DLLs with these versions I have added in my two projects. One is project, and even test also test project also I use the same versions. So I will first go to the program, my program class, where so in my program class, so I am trying to add my employee details to my tables. So to that I am going to uh, pass my connection string to my DB context. So this where I am creating DB context options builder with this connection. So I am using since I have added SQL server, I will get the option here. So this is the common code, so you can find anywhere. So I am passing in builder. I am passing DB context and use SQL server method. I am passing the connection. So this connection you have to give your own SQL server here with the database name. So once you create this option, you pass that option your DB context class. So since you pass this connection, DB context will take care about the opening and closing connections. So this is the sample code. So in real time we don't use these options in production. So we are never going to delete and create every time. This is the for the first time for demo purpose, so I am using this code. So please be cautious for real-time database. So this option only used for demo purpose only. So I'm and every time I'm just deleting and recreating the database, and after everything is ready, so I'm passing that context to my employee DB access class constructor. So one, it is setting my local variable that same context. So I'm using further for updating employee and add and delete employees. So I am using those. I'm see since same class for adding employee. I'm using that class. Using that class, I'm adding employee. I'm updating employee also and deleting. So this is my real-time code. Just imagine, and let me go and run that one by one. So this is my SQL server. So let me refresh. So it's still there. So since I am adding data to employee, let me go and open that one also. Sorry, I think this is view data. Sorry. View code, I think view data. I'm clicking wrong one. So in .NET itself, we can able to connect the SQL server and we can do all operations. We no need to install a um, SQL server in local. So we can connect from .NET also if someone is not known. For them I am saying. So at present there is no data here. Let me go and run one by one. Let's see that how it is going to be perform. So it should add first to one row to the employee table. If I run this one using SQL server, I am doing this one. So my debug has been stopped here. So at present there is no data available. If I refreshed, so let me go and execute this one. It should add a row into the employee table. Since I have created a context and assigned to my employee DB access, since this method is indirectly adding a new row to the employee, it should add one So I execute it. I pressed F10. So it's success. There is no error. Let me go on. Refresh this. So a row has been added with the same details. Let me on execute the second one, that is update one also. So this is the is going to update the same table with uh, name as Babu. So at present if it is 11, so if I refresh it should be update to Babu. So it is done. So the last one is the delete. So it should delete that row if it doesn't have. So so my program is working fine without any issues. Suppose in, so I can't do this every time, and there might be so much kind of logic in future can add it to that here before updating. So to do this kind of means normally we can't do every time manual testing, and we wanted to automate this testing so on each deployment automatically. So in .NET Core using SQLite we can able to do create unit test for this logic. So now I will show that one. I will show how means in real time how we can do manual testing. But if you wanted to automate using SQLite in memory, we can able to dynamically create the database, and we can do unit testing to our code. Since this is very simple, so in future we can do many kind of logics before updating. We can do many kinds of logic, some calculations. So if you wanted to go for automate testing against that using SQLite, we can able to do that. So the code I already been developed. So I will show you step by step how we can do that. So this is my test project here, and the same as I mentioned, the same libraries I have added. So here the most important one is SQLite, that and .NET Core. These two you should add to your test project. And here this is the connection factory. The class I have created. In this connection factory, if you see SQLite, this is my code, and here what I am important one is this is the important one you need to remember. A data store is I am saying in memory sample. This is the database name I am giving here. While creating SQLite, with this name internally in memory it will get created, and I am saying memory mode is memory and shared. So I'm setting memory mode as well as I'm saying it should be shared. Suppose if someone is wanted to use that in memory, so they can use with this name, this unique name. So this is the must here, and this connection string I am passing to SQLite connection. So we have to create object for SQLite connection, and you have to pass this one with these values. Once this is done, so you have to open your connection, and the remaining is same. You have to pass that connection to context builder for DB context, and you have to mention use SQLite for this DB context with this connection. So once you create these options, then you have to pass that option to your context class, and the remaining is same. So with this context I am returning with this my context with these options. So here what is the most important thing is this is the connection string. So I have to specify the unique connection string name, and you have to mention the mode, and if you wanted to share your uh, your SQL in memory, then you have to mention shared. So once after create the context with these options, so this class will using so we have all kinds of means different kinds of context options available. So yeah, this is one for SQLite. And if you wanted to go for in memory, so this is in memory. So in memory is also same. You have to write, you have to use, you have to create options with use in memory database and database name. So this is also in queue. In memory means it will store into your disk, not disk, in memory connection memory. So the base means once after means the memory means the database available until you run the program. So after you, if you complete the program, the memory will get deleted. So please remember that it won't store permanently, even for SQLite also. This is in memory. If you wanted to go for if you wanted to create in memory SQL, then you have to write the code like this. For SQLite, you have to write like this. So now in our example, I am using SQLite, so I will use this method. So once my connection factory is ready, so I will go for actual unit test. This is my actual unit test code. As I mentioned, I have created object for my connection factory class, same class, and I am creating context for create context SQLite. It's the same. So, and once you get the context, the same context I am passing to my employee DB class. So my DB class has the constructor. So I am passing my own SQLite context to class, since it is accept the same block DB context. So I can able to pass that. And I can able to pass. So once I set my DB context to my class, then I can able to access those methods. So here I am in my add employee. I am creating new object, employee object with these values. And since I set the context, I can able to get the employee details using link queue object select. So here I am adding a employee, and I am getting that employee using link queue from the context. I am asserting that. So I am validating here. And the same way, so I am accessing that employee from the context, and I am updating value with the name, and I am passing that context to my update employee object. Again I am asserting whether that is correct or not. So same way I am passing the same employee object, and I am asserting again after with the whether that is deleted or not. So here what I would like to explain you, here I am validating my employee DB access using SQLite. So this is indirectly I am automating my employee DB access class using unit test. So if I have many kinds of operations I am doing, so if I write all the means if I cover all those logic using unit test, then I can say I can say that so I can say that at any time if I wanted to validate my employee DB access, I'll simply come here and run my unit test. So this is very, I feel very means very useful, and we can able to identify all kinds of issues at the development itself. So here my test case is ready. At any time if I wanted to validate how my employee DB access is behaving by running the my my test method. So if I run here, so let me go and debug instead of running at a time. So I think if you wanted to run anytime, if you want to debug, just go on debug selected test. So that how we can able to debug test method using text explorer. Here it is not using SQL actual SQL Server database. Here it is using SQLite in memory database. So there is no any relation between actual database and the here. So I am indirectly passing my SQLite database in memory database. So there is no impact to actual database here. So if I see here my context, so debug is ready. If I see my context, so if I see my employee, it should not have any values. So that way you can understood it is using SQLite. So let me add a new row to employee. If I see my employee, it should add one row. So for cross verification, let me go and see is there any values. I mean if it is available SQL Server. So if we see here, so this is my actual database. If I see the employee table, there is no values. So here I am using SQLite. If I see that my employee table, it has the it has added one row. It has added one row. So I'm retrieving the retrieving the name from the table, and I'm validating whether it is inserted the same value or not. So my asset has been passed. The same way I'm also updating the value. I'm checking. So I'm deleting. This how we can able to do our unit testing in real time against real time database system. This is very useful. So since this example very simple, it's okay. But if you added any business logic on top of that, and if you wanted to validate against that, using SQLite, we can able to very well able to validate using unit test in unit test, and we can able instead of doing manual validation using unit test with SQLite in memory database, we can able to validate our database classes. Even I hope you understand how we can able to do or validate uh, using SQLite against SQL database access logic. Thank you guys, have a nice day.